Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a review that I probably should have made a hell of a long time ago. This is a review for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It's going to be a full review covering the good aspects and the bad of the campaign and the multiplayer. It's going to be a full game review. Just before we start, I am sorry if I haven't bought this sooner. Kind of slipped my mind a little, and that's why it hasn't been made yet, but here it is. Let's get right into the review. So, starting off with the good news first, and let's start off with the campaign. To start off with, I thought generally it was a good story. I quite liked the story. I quite liked how there was a good mix between stealth missions and loud missions. You know, I always like a nice mix. So you're not doing too much of stealth, not doing too much of loud, bashy explosion stuff, because, you know, people like different things. Some people like being a ninja, some people just like exploding things. So I like that they had a good mix of that. They also had the characters who were very immersive, and Gideon kind of reminds me of an Advanced Warfare version of Price. Doesn't anybody else feel and think that? Has nobody else thought, hey, he looks and sounds a bit like Price? I think he's our brand new Price, everyone. Price is back in the form of Gideon. Woo! Next really good thing about the game is I loved the change from Atlas to Sentinel. I thought it was very clever of them, and just, it was such a plot change. You know, we didn't see the change coming. Irons turned bad in a matter of 2 missions, and then we're suddenly working for Sentinel, the people who we've been fighting all this time. It was quite a big plot change, but I loved it. You know, it was very brave of them to do that. It brung a new, I don't know, it brought a whole new thing to the campaign. And just when we thought, oh, it's getting a little bit repetitive, getting a little bit boring, whoa, hang on a minute, we're now on the Sentinel side. That was very clever of them. Finally, the last 2 points is, it was well thought out. It wasn't, you know, the developers didn't come in and go, right guys, to make a bit more money this time, let's spew out all the crap we have and make it a game. Because that's basically what Ghosts was. Sorry if you're a fan of Ghosts, but it was crap. The single player was okay. I didn't mind the single player, but the ending of Ghosts was just ridiculous. And the multiplayer got boring after 2 hours of playing it, and it was like, to be continued, and it was never continued. It was a flop of a game, and Advanced Warfare really brought it back, and I think it's good of them. If this one wasn't good, I think Call of Duty would have had a terrible name, and they would have lost a lot of sales. So I think having Advanced Warfare as one of the good CODs, and in my opinion, one of the best CODs, it's giving you a little hint at what's to come at the end. You know, I think they really brought COD back this time, and it was very well thought out. You can tell they spent a lot of time thinking. They listened to the player feedback, which was really good. You know, not many games will listen to player feedback, especially as big as COD. So I'm really thankful, and, you know, good job guys, you've made a good game. And finally, the ending of the game was, I thought, quite good. There's always an ending of Call of Duty where you get to kill the big bad guy, and this way was quite good. I like how Irons gave you the mechanical arm at the start, and then right at the end you kind of just gave it back to him, as if to say, I don't want this anymore, and you gave it back to him as he falls into a pit of fire, which I thought was very creative, very well done. It was just an all-round good campaign. It had its glitches and it had its bugs, but as Call of Duties as they go, I think Call of Duty Advanced Warfare campaign was a good one. Okay, now moving on to the multiplayer. First of all, with the multiplayer, it has a lot of variety with new game modes. One specific game mode is Uplink. That's a very creative and a very well done game mode. It's a bit like basketball, where you've passed a satellite to each other and then you throw it into a goal. that was a brilliant idea. We've still got the old traditional team deathmatch, domination, you know, kill confirm, search and destroy, but with the new game modes like uplink, it makes it a little bit more interesting. We've got one shot kill as a playlist now, and I like how they brought back old game modes like infected. What else? Like survival, the exo survival. Got more to talk about that. It brings back old aspects of COD, but also brings in new aspects. So it keeps it new, it keeps it interesting, and it reminisces about the old days. It's got every aspect of COD that's ever been had. So it's basically all the CODs put into one, but put in the future, and isn't all the CODs put into one, if you know what I mean. It's got aspects of each game, is what I'm trying to say, and I think that was a good idea. Plenty of variety. Whatever COD you're coming over from, if you've been playing World at War ever since that came out, and you've been ignoring every other COD, you could come over to Advanced Warfare and still enjoy the game. I also like the use of levels. That sounds very drama-y. Use of levels. No. But I like how it does what no other COD does, and you get to traverse up and down the map with your exo ability. I thought that kind of movement is very nice and really fun to use. It takes a while to get used to it when you're first into the game. You can be an optic at Call of Duty, get into Advanced Warfare, and still mess up on the controls the first couple of times. Doesn't take that long to grab though, and once you've got it, it is just so much fun, and you can pull off the most amazing stunts and kills ever. So I love the use of levels and how you can traverse up and down the scenery. It's very well done, and it makes it again a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. Number 3 at multiplayer is I like how the environment changes on different maps. So on different maps, you've got different environments, and those different environments interact. You've got the tsunami that comes halfway through the map on one of the maps. You've got radiation that comes on recovery. That is recovery. You have radiation, and you've got to get out of there. It's not a radiation. It's the gas. I'm going to call it radiation for now, because my mind has just gone blank. It's just had a complete brain fart, and I can't remember what it's called. That's really going to annoy me. I'll find it out and probably write it on the video as you're watching it. But yeah, it's something new. It's a new danger, you know. We haven't just got to worry about flying people who want to kill us. We've also got to worry about if there's any terrain that wants to kill us, like a tsunami or radiation or, you know, anything like that. And it just adds a bit more excitement and a bit more adrenaline, and like, you've got to be even more aware, which is like, oh my god, there's so much going on, this is so amazing. Gets your heart pumping, especially when you're on a high streak. And finally, on the multiplayer, it's easy to understand. Now, this might just be me being a complete idiot, but on other Call of Duties, I didn't know whether I was prestiging or what level I was or anything like that. Maybe because I haven't really got into COD before Advanced Warfare much, but this COD I find very easy to understand. I know exactly what level I am at, exactly what I'm going to prestige. I know, the armory is very well laid out. I know how to get good XP from the armory by selling items. You know, it's all very well laid out and very easy to, navigate your way around the whole game. And if you're new to Call of Duty, I think that's a brilliant idea. I think they got a bit of a new fan base maybe from Advanced Warfare, because it's bringing in the movement ideas like Destiny and games like that, and Titanfall. Players that haven't played COD before and are more of a Destiny fan might come over and try Advanced Warfare because it's got similar aspects. So making it easy to understand was very important, and I think they did a brilliant job at it. Now on to the Exo Survival. And as I said earlier, it brings back aspects of old COD, which is a brilliant idea. Modern Warfare 3 had the survival on it, and I quite enjoyed it. Modern Warfare 2, I think, had survival on it as well, which I really used to enjoy, and now I can enjoy it again with my friends. Whoop whoop! So that is really good and really interesting how he brought back an old aspect of COD. Secondly is it's very challenging, a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. You know, you expect AI to be quite stupid and just, no, where am I aiming this gun? But no, they are challenging. Man, you may have saw my Exo Survival episode that I uploaded, and that is quite challenging. That is quite challenging indeed. So I like how it's challenging because it gives, again, another really exciting aspect of the game, and it doesn't get boring very quickly. You know, if you're challenged, you're not going to get bored very easily, but if you're just going around punching them all because they're idiots, that's going to get quite boring very quickly. So it's very good how we made that quite challenging, and well, that's about it. You know, it's a good game mode. It's a good game mode. And finally, for the Exo Survival, it's a different game mode. It's very different to the others. You know, it gives you a completely new experience. You can play bots, which is a little bit like it, but not quite. It's, if you go from multiplayer and then go right into the Exo Survival, you will notice a big change. I don't know if that's because, it's clearly because AI are controlled different to real players, but it just gives you a very different look at the game instead of just playing campaign and just playing multiplayer. And I think that's good, again, to keep the game interesting. This Call of Duty will last quite a long time because it's got so many good and fun aspects in it that keep it interesting. Okay, now on to the bad things about the game, and I haven't actually got many, which is good, really. It's unusual for a game this big to have so little problems in my eyes. So first of all, for the campaign is, I don't know if this was just my system or my purchase, but the disc couldn't be read sometimes, and this was happening like the first couple of hours into the game. And I've just put the disc in a couple of hours ago for the first time, and it was coming with a notice saying the disc cannot be read, so I had to take it out, clean it. I don't know. Oh, sorry. I don't know if that was just my system or the disc, or maybe it's just a glitch and a bug that happens in the game, but for me that was quite an annoyance and a complete inconvenience, especially when I was recording. I had to do a couple of takes to get that done, so for me that was quite an annoying and bad thing about the game, and it put me off it for a little bit. Also, there's not much variety in the gun type for the campaign. This is always a problem in Call of Duty, and they didn't change much this time, which I don't know why they do it. Maybe they do it to keep you familiar with the story, or maybe with the campaign. I'm not quite sure, but you don't get much gun variety when in the campaign. You normally get given the same guns over and over, and you use them same guns a lot. You know, maybe they should bring in something like a crossbow. You don't get to use the crossbow in single player. You only use it in multiplayer. Throw in a crossbow in a mission. Let them have a bit of fun with that, you know. Throw in loads of different weapons each mission. Just so people can, you know, mess around with the guns a bit. I like the fact that Battlefield, I'm not a big fan of Battlefield at all, but Battlefield has, in the campaign at least, on Bad Company, that's the only Battlefield I've played, you could go to like supply drops and pick what gun you wanted to use. I think Call of Duty should bring that into the game, because I think that would be very good. Then players get choice of what they want to play with. On to the bad things about the multiplayer. And the first big problem is the guns. Some of the guns are too OP. The bow is too OP. It's way too OP. And the Morse, I'm pretty sure that's too OP. For the second sniper you unlock, it's almost always a one-shot kill, no matter where you hit. So, you know, some of the guns, the ASM-1 is again a free-hit kill. It's very unbalanced on the multiplayer, because everyone uses those guns. If you're trying to get diamond, or if you just want to use a different weapon for a change, you can't really be very successful because everyone's using the bow and the Morse and the ASM-1. Trying to remember my gun names, and they just destroy you. It's, you know, they really need to bring out an update to nerf some of the amazing guns and make it more even and better and not accurate, but make them more even. Because you get noobs running around with the bow, and they're like, I'm really good at this, and then you got people who are trying to be skillful with a with a not as good weapon, and they're not getting anywhere because they're getting blasted in the face by a 3-hit kill submachine gun, you know. Next and final bad thing for the multiplayer is the kill streaks. I was a bit disappointed. I love the Paladin, I love the care packages. You know, you got the UAVs in there, you got the Goliath, which is a lot of fun, but not that effective. But I was a bit disappointed with the kill streaks. I don't think they're that effective. I don't think they're very valuable in this COD. I can go a whole game without using my kill streaks. And in fact, the games I've nearly got DNA bombs on, I haven't used the kill streaks at all, really. I've used the Paladin because that's a great way to get extra kills. I've used quick and snappy, you know, kill streaks that have been used in any other COD, but the new kill streaks for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare haven't really impressed me much. Now on to the Exo Survival, and there's only two bad things about this. It can be too hard. I love the challenge it gives, but yeah, it can be a little bit too hard. Maybe there should be, I don't know if it is like you can play on hard difficulty, easy difficulty, or normal. I don't know if there is that or not. I haven't looked into it ever. Don't really play the Exo Survival that much. But yeah, it can be a bit hard, and they should probably put an option on there if they haven't already. If they have, then don't listen to me. I'm being an idiot again. And finally, for the Exo Survival, it can get a little bit repetitive. It is a bit interesting, it is a bit fun, but if you do it loads, it will get repetitive eventually. Final category, and then we are done, is just the general looks and the general mechanics of the game. It's very important to have good graphics, good mechanics if you want to win my heart. You know, it's very well having a good story mode and things like that, but if the mechanics are crap, I'm not going to enjoy my stay. So that's got to be a very good dominant thing, I think. But holy crap, what are graphics good! I was playing on 360 and the cutscenes almost looked acted out by real people. It was amazing. I can't imagine what it must be like on next gen. The graphics were orgasmic. I was getting orgasmic every time a cutscene came in. I was like, woo! Graphics! Woo! Yeah! So I really think they did a brilliant job on the graphics. Even on last gen consoles, they were amazing. Next, the mechanics, and they were surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, very smooth. They have to be smooth because of all the jumping around and the flying. If the mechanics were clunky, it would just damage the game so much. The mechanics had to be smooth so we could jump around and strafe across the air. So luckily the producers did put good mechanics in there. They work very well, and you know, we can fly through the air with ease without worrying about any kind of mechanical glitch or error, which is just as well, really, isn't it? And finally, for the good points of the general game, the maps are good. On multiplayer, the maps are good. Sometimes you have like maps that you hate and maps that you love, but all of these maps, I can't find which ones I hate. I know which ones I don't like as much as others, but there's none that I hate with a passion. You know, I'm happy to play on any map. They're all so well put together. They have got a movement in mind. You know, if they were like just open space, it would just be terrible because we couldn't jump up on anything. But they've got levels in all of them. They're not too big, not too small, just right. And there's different maps for different classes, which I think gives the snipers a chance, gives the assault rifles a chance, gives the LMGs a chance, gives everyone a chance to do well at the game. But what about the bad? There's always got to be some bad. There's never all good. Can be a bit laggy. I'll come up with it right now. There's meant to be anti-lag on next gen. Don't know if there is on last gen, but from what I've experienced, there is none. My internet's not brilliant as it is anyway. I'm getting fibre optic soon, so that'll improve it, but the multiplayer can be incredibly laggy, and there's a amount of times where I've been on a ruthless, I've been on a merciless even, and I've lagged halfway across the map, out into open cover, and sniped by a douche. you know. And well, I really wanted just to slide into cover, but the Puta says no, and I go whoa away into nowhere and get my ass beat by a load of Call of Duty Spec Ops. So lag is an issue, and I don't normally record when there's lag because I just can't do well when there's lag. It's horrendous. And finally, the gun textures can sometimes take a while to load in. My diamond gun textures are sometimes like just plain white for about 30 seconds of the match, and then the diamond texture comes in. That again could be due to lag, that could just be due to my current gen, or my last gen now, console. I'm sure performance is even better on next gen, but on last gen at least, the textures aren't always loading in as fast as they should be. So overall, what would I give it? I would give it a big, nice, solid and happy 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend you pick this game up today. I got the Day Zero edition. You don't have to, but if you want to get an even better experience, get the Elite edition, or the Atlas Elite edition, sorry, or the Day Zero edition. You can just get the normal edition, but if you want to further... Oh, I just knocked my microphone. Good. If you want to further develop your Call of Duty experience, I recommend getting the other editions. It's well worth the money. Brilliant game. Solid 9 out of 10. Well done, Call of Duty. Let's hope your next one isn't a pile of crap like Ghosts. Don't bring out another pile of crap. Bring out another Advanced Warfare. But even better, if they can do that, if they can bring out another even better Advanced Warfare, whew, that might be getting 9.5, 10 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like that subscribe button. Like that subscribe button. That is happening. That is my new thing. Like that subscribe button. And why not share while you're at it? Share all your friends if they're not subscribed. And until next time, more Call of Duty coming your way. I shall see you later. Bye-bye.